All right, everybody, welcome back to Beans No Ball. At the time of this video coming out, we are 1 day away from kickoff. Today concludes our NFL preview series, 10th video, and obviously this is our playoff preview and of course the Super Bowl preview. Now,
Yeah.
a lot has come into this. We got our own little way. Christian, why don't you outline how we're gonna do this?
Yeah, so me and David we both got our brackets up. So it's just a similar bracket, just the seedings for the first round and how it is, the 7 to 2 and one and so forth, right? So we have both our brackets up, and obviously David's gonna kick it off first, but we don't know who's going forward in each matchup. So as we go along, we're gonna see on that if the both of us got each of our picks correct as we go on. So David, let's kick it off with the AFC, starting with the first matchup.
So, starting it off with the 5-4 matchup, I gotta go with Indy to beat Miami. I think that playoff. I think the playoff struggles are going to continue. I mean, it's only been 2 years running, but as much as I am high on Miami, like I said, I think this is finally going to be the year to actually win the division. But unfortunately, Indy's going to come into their house and get it done. As for my 6-3, Baltimore and Cincinnati, it's a matchup we've already seen in the playoffs in these exact seedings, and I'm big on Burrow this year. I gotta see Cincinnati doing it, and I think it's going just as you thought from the look on your face.
I'm 2 for 2 right now, so yeah.
Okay, all right. My 2-7 to close out the wild card on the AFC side, Buffalo and Houston. You guys know I'm big on CJ Stroud. I gotta go with Houston. I'm expecting a big win there. Like I said, not as high on Buffalo this year. Just sneaking into the playoffs, and I think Houston's gonna get it done easy. So going into the 3-2 matchup in the AFC, Cincinnati and Houston. I gotta go with Houston, man. Like I said, I've been a very big proponent on CJ Stroud. I think this is gonna be one of the better matchups of the playoffs as a whole, and I really think CJ is going to start flourishing more and more. Last year he just got a taste of the playoffs, and right here it's really going to show. And with Indy and KC, the 5 and the 1, I love what Aaron Rodgers has been doing. I really do. But it's Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes, and I really got to say that the Chiefs are just going to power through to, what is it going to be, 6th or 7th consecutive AFC conference in a row?
I think it's
something like that to the conference. I think this should be their 6th in a row, if I'm not mistaken, if this comes out.
One or the other, but yeah, it's still a pretty big streak to accomplish.
Yeah, so I got the 2 and the 1 in the AFC Championship, and I want to give it to CJ so bad, but I'm huge on KC. Like I said, Mahomes my MVP this year, and I gotta say, KC goes on to the Super Bowl. We'll put a pin on that. Let me move into the NFC side of the bracket, and I got my own takes for this one too. You guys can see the seating down there. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The 5 and the 4, Detroit against Atlanta. I mean, as much as I think they're gonna fall off enough for to not win the division, I can't see Detroit not going into Atlanta and just feasting. I mean, we know how Kirk becomes in the playoffs, and I think not much is gonna change, even though he has all those weapons that I've been so high on for them. At the 6 and the 3. It's a big matchup for me, obviously, looking at this one, San Francisco and LA. I know they've had our number in the past few years, but Christian, you made light of it this morning when we were heading back to school. We got their number in the playoffs, so I think we're gonna come out. I mean, we showed the superiority in the regular season, and not much is gonna change here. I see the Rams moving on ahead of the 49ers. The 7 and the 2. Christian, unfortunately, you gotta relive what happened just last year at the 7-2 matchup.
I was expecting this.
Going into Lambeau. I'm gonna have to see Green Bay winning this one. Like I said, I'm very big on Jordan Love this year. He was someone that I almost thought about throwing into my MVP conversation, but I think that'll wait just a bit. But yeah, we'll move into the divisional round at 3 and the 2. Green Bay heading into SoFi. I got the Rams winning this. I think Green Bay is gonna win the regular season matchup, and that's gonna light an extra fire for the Rams to have that revenge matchup in the playoffs, and I think they get it done. Like I said, I'm high on them. The 5 and the 1, Detroit against Philly. I think this is where the road comes to an end for Detroit. I really like Philadelphia this season. Like I said, they got my offensive player of the year in Saquon, and I think Jalen Hurts is, he's always, apart from that Tampa Bay game, he's had some relative success in the playoffs, and I think that continues here. And into my NFC Championship, I think everyone knows where I'm going with this. I got the Rams going to the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be another, just like the Houston-Cincinnati game, this is going to be a classic matchup. Arguably could end up in overtime, but, I just really see Stafford's, just the longevity that he shows, all that experience that he has, it's going to come to show. And I think he takes us right back to the Super Bowl just 2 years after the last one. And in the Super Bowl, this is a matchup that we've been very close to having year in and year out. The Rams and the Chiefs. And, I mean, is there any other way, bro? We're running it back. We're winning the Super Bowl this year. Call me a homer, call me biased. I don't care. I mean, it's like what I've been talking about for so long now with this Rams team. This is the last true year of contention, and they're all in. They're gonna be all in this year, and they're gonna be fighting it out. And as much as I love the competition that's coming for them out of the NFC, which that's gonna be the toughest competition in my opinion, I think the Rams get it done. That playoff experience from years past, my mistake, from years past is really gonna show to be strong in this team.
And dude, I almost had your whole bracket spot on until the Philly Eagles game. But I pretty much got accepted. Show your little bias there, but hey, that's fine. You got your reasoning for that. With me, how to tend my little bias with the Cowboys little down there. So let's see if our chemistry still continues and see what we get here. So with my bracket, it's a little funky bracket, but let's get to it. So I'm gonna go backwards this time. So I'm gonna start with the 2 and the 7th. I think with this one, it's gonna be another classic matchup with Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. I'm going to expect a very nice close game here, but I'm gonna go on the Bills on this one. So yeah, there you can see you got that. I'm gonna go with the Bills on this one. So yeah. Honestly, I was really, really debating with this one. I was leaning towards Burrow at the 7th, but it's Josh Allen. I do expect a lot of good things from him. Moving into the 3rd and the 6th, the Ravens and the Texans. I'm going with the Texans on this matchup here. I'm gonna think CJ Stroud. He's gonna knock Lamar Jackson and the Ravens early on the first round out of this playoffs team. Looking at the team, he gets his fully healthy weapons: Tank Dell, Nico Collins. You got Stephon Diggs. Hopefully at the 3rd, the young defense there. It's gonna put pressure on Lamar, and that's the one thing that happens to Lamar. Once you get the pressure on him, he's gonna start to choke bad, and then we've seen that in the Chiefs game, other than that one clutch drive he had. And then moving on with the Colts and the Dolphins, I think you might be upset at this one, but I got Tua getting his first playoff win in this one right here. I got Tua. He finally wins a playoff game with this Dolphins team. And Rich, Colts, I'm sorry. This is the matchup I went when I earlier went back to. I want to go fix it. Really, really leaning towards the Colts here, but I think Tua, he's finally gonna get in his zone, and he's finally gonna lead this Dolphins team to a playoff win. Now moving on with the 1 and the 6 seed, the Chiefs and the Texans. This is Mahomes' territory, Mahomes at the 1 seed, you don't want to downplay him. I got the Texans knocking out the Chiefs in the divisional round. I got CJ Stroud putting up a show and knocking out these high-powered Chiefs team finally early on in the playoffs. So we got Mahomes. He's finally out of the playoffs here, so it's basically free game. I know a lot of people, they're probably going to be on my ass about this one, but this is CJ Stroud's game. Then moving on with the 2nd and the 5, the Bills and the Dolphins. I think there's no debate here. Gonna go with Josh Allen, this Bills team once again. Tua got his time being the Colts, but you're coming with a tough opponent in the AFC, your divisional opponent, coming to another tough opponent. And Josh Allen seems to always get his way there. And then moving it on in the conference championship, the Bills and the Texans. Josh Allen and CJ Stroud. Lots of things going on here. You got Josh Allen finally proving it for this Bills team to prove that he is the guy. He is their guy for the next couple of years, and finally proving everybody wrong. And then the second-year guy, CJ Stroud, also wanted to prove everyone he's going to be one of the top guys here and there. Unfortunately, Josh Allen's story comes to an end here, and I got CJ Stroud coming out of the AFC. Could be a lot of hot takes here. Very, very hot take on this bracket, but CJ Stroud must see him go to the Super Bowl in his 2nd year. And now moving it on to the NFC. I think I might get you on this one. So
you already got me on the AFC. I'll just tell you right now.
Yeah, so we'll see when everything's done. Now I'm still gonna go first with the 2 and the 7 seed. With the 2 and 7, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals beating Philly.
Wow.
in the wild card. I'm gonna get Kyler Murray, and I believe this is gonna be his first playoff win, if I am not mistaken. Yeah,
only playoff game up this far. I went and I saw the Rams absolutely destroy him.
Yep, exactly. But this time, the 7th seed destroying the 2nd seed. I'm gonna get Kyler. I'm gonna get him win this game. By all means, I'm gonna think this is a very, very close game. But Kyler Murray could be my bias towards him, but I can see him getting his first playoff win there. At the 3 and the 6, the Niners and the Cowboys. Now, the Niners have been owning us for the past couple of years. The amount of hate that I get, the amount of DMs I receive from everyone I know who are Niner fans. But this time, the Cowboys, they're going to get their way finally, and they're going to finally move out of the wild card first round, you could say. Finally, once again, beating this Niners team, beating them where it matters here and there. And it's going to be a big year for Dak. This is him playing without a contract. I'm going to explain to play with all the grit and anger that he's going to show. Moving into the 4th and the 5th, the Falcons and the Packers. Carbs, you're not going to like this one, but I got the Falcons winning this game against the Packers. I got Big Kirkle finally showing up in the playoffs for this one time. It's just the team around him. I really can't go against them. Now moving in with the Lions and the Cardinals. I think this one should be obvious. I got the Lions winning this one against the Cards. The 1 and the 7th, this is where Kyler's regime kind of comes to an end. I still think this is going to be a very close game by all means. I don't think this is going to be a game blown out of the water by this Lions team. I'm going to expect that Cardinals team and Kyle to put up a really big fight, but they're going to come just short. At the 6th and the 4th, I got the Cowboys and the Falcons. Now, Cowboys, they've had their way with the Falcons for the past couple years in the recent matchups. And I'm still going to favor the Dallas Cowboys once again beating the Falcons in the divisional. You know, I said this the past couple years. I keep saying Cowboys, they're going to go past the divisional. They're going to go past the divisional. But with the circumstances that I'm going to keep saying Dak Prescott's in right now, he's going to do whatever he can to secure that long-term contract. And now moving into the NFC Championship, the Lions and the Cowboys. Jared Goff against Dak Prescott. 2 stories for both these two teams trying to secure their first ring here. And this is where my bias comes to an end. I'm going to have the Lions get the best out of us on this one. I feel like the Cowboys are going to come up just short of victory here. And it's going to be the most Cowboy possible. The Cowboys shooting themselves in the foot by their own mistakes of why they're going to lose this game. Going to be a great close game. And that's the Super Bowl. The Texans and the Lions for my bracket.
Who would have thought 2 years ago, bro? That's
exactly right.
Who you got winning that? That's an insane matchup. But who you got winning that?
It's honestly, dude, I put a lot of thought into this, but I gotta go the Texans. I gotta go the Texans here. CJ Stroud's gonna get a Super Bowl early on in his career. 2nd year as a starter, he's gonna get that ring. The Lions, Jared Goff, once again, so close. But yet, so far.
0 for 10 the Super Bowl for Goff. I mean, look, if that ends up happening, I'd be a full-on Texan fan. But hey, I can respect it. I was very close to getting the Texans into the Super Bowl myself, but it's hard for me to go against Mahomes in the playoffs. But yeah, bro, you absolutely got me on this, and I got this completely wrong. I went 0 for 3 from the wild card on, and you completely got me. I had your Super Bowl as Indy and Green Bay, so that's what I thought. 2 teams that you had in the first round, so that tells you how much you got me. But
what about the AFC? How did that go?
Well, I mean, I had Indy coming out of there for you, but overall, I mean, I guess the matchups that I could have gotten right, maybe some of them I got right, but ever since the Indy Miami matchup, that kind of threw me off for good. But yeah, there's some pretty hot takes going into this season, and I guess one bias driven, one just full on hot take driven, I guess, from you. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you like and subscribe. Hope to see you guys back tomorrow for Bean Talk, and let's get ready for another wild ride, another 18 weeks of the regular season, and a great deal of playoff football that's to come. Hope to enjoy another great year of football with you guys, and let's get it started.